What's happening? What's happening? Welcome. Welcome and welcome back. You are in the right place. Walking through the neighborhood as I do, right? If you don't know, now you know. There's a point to this. Uh, there may be a real point, a real lesson, but this is kind of a story time, kind of, sort of. You know, as I've said before, from my observations, I be seeing people park the wrong way on some of these streets all the time. Some particularly all the time, like all the time. And ain't no big thing. I've shown it on the video, even, right? And for all the videos, I make in the living room, other than most of them in the studio, a lot of them out here. A lot of them in the park. A lot of them on the park. Like it's a few various locations. I guess we're all creatures of habit. I try to mix it up, but we're creatures of habit. Anyhow, see what I'm saying? All that's relevant. All that's relevant. Whether we like it or not, no matter how much I try to scramble it up, I'm still going to gravitate toward a pattern. Toward a pattern of comfort. Whatever feels the most comfortable, right? And why not, But still, you got to switch it up because, man, I'm learning shit can change in an instant and you going to change or you going to be depressed and miserable. You got to be able to adapt. That's why, I appreciate people observing, I guess, my appearing to be carefree attitude. I have moments of depressions and things like that, I'll say, but I don't linger in that. I don't hold in that. I don't anchor down in that. I have in the past, and you could, but man, that depression will lead you to want to take your life, want to hit that bottle, and want to not hit that bottle. You want to stay forgetting, and the thing that can make you forget the most is what you will gravitate towards. It's gonna be all the promiscuous sex with different people as much as possible, drinking, drugging, whatever to avoid feeling the reality of your situation when you should be embracing that. And there I am. Okay, so that I feel that's something. But what I really was saying, it's like I say, it's kind of a nothing thing, but everything is something. Everything is a value. Just listen to me, hear me out. So I was talking about, my perception of people and me. I be psychoanalyzing things and situations and people, and I think we all do to an extent. We got no choice. But anyhow, with that said, you want to question your accuracy and everything, if you got whatever it is that you think correct. How do you know unless you know? How do you know unless you test it or whatever? You know what I mean? Unless you have something to measure it against or compare it against, or the data. Once you stretch it out, you can see it. That's facts. I can think what I want to think, and that's what I say. We got to analyze ourselves, self-analysis, because, hey, everybody's wrong sometimes, man. You can't be right all the time. Hey, man, I like it, but I don't like it. It makes me even more self-analytical because, man, it's a lot of screwed up people in this world, and they want to be controlling and stuff. It's what the thing boils down to. It's what I was saying with the people with the bike thing, and you're all right. You're all right. You're not gonna ask me if I'm all right now. I look the same now. All I just don't have the bike with me. Slow down. Like I don't even, like I said, I can't even get a gauge on their mind. Slow down. I'm willing to talk to you. Come back. They gone. I thought you wanted to help me. What you talking about? You know what I mean? I'm not wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong in that. I don't know exactly what's on their mind. Maybe I do. You spend enough time with yourself and meditating and becoming one with your surroundings in the universe, and you know, you could you're eating right, drinking the right thing, just living right, clear mind, not around no nonsense. The only nonsense I see is on YouTube, or if I cut anything on the internet, on the news or something. In my circle, which ain't even much of, well, I can't say it's no circle. There's people there. We just don't talk much. We don't talk a lot. That's just that. But my thing was really if you're still around for the thing that I was talking about, which is the cars being parked the wrong way, right? And especially on some streets, and how that my perception was that they don't worry about it. So I have an Airbnb guest. I had an opportunity to kind of let it play out, since this person parked the wrong way on the street all the time, and that's just the way that they do it. I ain't say nothing about it. I really don't care, and I think that nothing is gonna happen like it always was in the past. Before I parked in that circle with my 2021 Alfa Romero in 2021, it's 2022 now, but still, you know, when I did that, all them other times I parked there with that truck, even though that truck is that truck, they was fine with that. You got I'm telling you, they watching you, man. They watching you. They know who's who. Maybe not in every neighborhood, because some neighborhoods probably have a higher turnover of cops, and it's just the way our neighborhood is structured. We pay them. We pay them through our bills, anyhow. And it's just more community, kind of like, not like I know them, they know me, but they know who's where. I think man, the way the world is and racism is, I think they got a map the white people are gonna be natural. They got a map with anyone that's not white, like this is where they live. They got the map and they got the thing, so they know. Don't be surprised you see black people coming and going on this street, coming and going in this area. Don't be shocked. Let it ride. Don't fuck with them. Yeah, that's him. That's the one, wear this shit all the time, most of the time. This, that, the other. You know what I mean? They got a whole MO on it. So, for that guy to come around at that time and fuck with me, like I said, that was some new shit. They ain't like that. He ain't like that. That bitch might have followed me. That's make it that much more real what I'm saying, racial profiling. That particular motherfucker might have followed me from a whole nother fucking area or something. It's just a trip, Don't think that they wouldn't. Man, every time we be suspecting that it's racism, a lot of times it is. Probably majority of the time we're right. Some shit you just automatically shrug off and don't even worry about it and let it go. You might think it and just bleep it out your mind. Man, that shit happened microly and howeverly. If you leave your house all the time, shit, you ain't gotta leave your house sometimes. Just making phone calls, dealing with people, businesses, customer service, they can hear it in your voice. It's very rarely that someone has such a white voice or a black voice, even. It's happened. It has happened. But it's very rare that their voice sounds so different than who they are that you don't know who they are. 9 times out of 10, and shit, if you sound like that, you're going to get, as far as on the phone, you're going to get treated like that anytime. So the people around my way, they wanna come around and well, you know, the person I told you, like the Gladys Kravitz of the block, you know, wanna come around, not come around, but text me and say, whoever have I want a heads up, whoever have such and such a car. This is after like 3 weeks of this person parking the wrong way on the street, not in the circle. Now this is different. Now I could see them putting a ticket on the car on the street, but on these type of streets, they don't even do that shit, man. That's why I'm saying that dude was messing with me that day. You know, he was specifically targeted me. Anyhow, because how you gonna go if he's doing that and that's how they do it all the time, in 3 weeks time, they would have come around and throw a couple of, at least give her a warning, I mean, them a warning, right? You know? No, but they haven't. Because they don't be doing that shit, man. They don't be fucking with nobody. They see that shit and keep it fucking moving. They don't give a damn. Why would you? Because it's a cul-de-sac. It's not, and then real, I wonder if that's even a thing anyway. Like, yeah, I know specifically it might be on the book. You figure that you shouldn't, you know, on any street. But why, like, it's in a way, well, with the traffic flow, you could confuse me and I'm thinking you coming at me or something. I guess I could see somebody maybe saying something like that on a regular street. That's a hard argument on this street, so it should be just totally overlooked. That warning wasn't a warning at all. That warning was an excuse to look up my shit, just like I said, because 3 weeks, this person has been parked in this spot and nothing. And then in 3 weeks, now my neighbor, my nosy Gladys Kravitz neighbor, want to tell me that just as a heads up, I want to, whoever has such and such a car, I want to let them know that the constable writes tickets for people parked the wrong way on the street. And like I say, here I am walking, and I walk all the time. That motherfucker don't, you know how a lot of people do? Motherfucker don't never walk. Never ride, never walk. I never see you. You never see me. I see other people all the time, or so frequently till it ain't funny. It's particular people that I see all over, on the street, in the park, wherever. We do the same kind of shit. So, you know, I'm gonna see you. And then you on my block? Come on, man. So, you don't know what the fuck you talking about, even though you been around there longer than me. And I know people don't be counting, because I ain't counting how long the neighbor that moved there after me, I'm not counting how long they been there. I don't really know, tell you the truth. 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, shit, I lost track. So I done been there 10 years. She don't know how long I've been there. Bitch, you don't know nothing that I don't know about around here, especially the fact that I get out way more than you. Even if you live here 20 years or 25 years or 30 years, all you do is go in your house and in the car, and you know what you see when you ride up out of this bitch on these main streets to get to where you're going. You're not circling no blocks and doing all no extra shit that I would do, and I know it, you know. And furthermore, if you did, you see what I see. People park the wrong way on a bunch of these streets. So they ain't doing it like you think. And then it's the same people all the time. So they definitely ain't doing it. And some people be on the main street. And I think they just stop because they know they shouldn't do it. You know, like it's a reason why they did it that time. You know, and that time, I could be wrong, because they keep doing it again. That's why I'm saying that I don't think I'm wrong. Maybe they finally got a ticket and that's why they stopped. I think I'll see them parking that way again. Just not gonna push it. That's the main street in the neighborhood. There's a few main streets. That's one of the main streets in the neighborhood. Common sense tell you can't do that. there, it's definitely a two-way street. It's definitely a through street and all that, you know. So what's this all about? Man, just humanness. Human behavior, human understanding, and the fact that, yeah, I was right. Nobody worries about that shit. Cause if they did, you know, like places where they worry about shit at, they worry about it. If they don't want you hanging out on the block, bitch, you ain't gonna be hanging out on the block for no fucking 3 weeks and get away with it. If you hanging out, it's because they, you know, and not get harassed anyway. Maybe they will let you. They harass you every couple days. You gotta do this, that, all this extra work for to do it, you know. And then the thing about that is just the innocent, you know, the people that's in the game, they up on the shit. They know what's going on. You just passing through. That's who get caught up. The people that don't know, the green ones, just passing through, like I've been before many times. So man, I'm just besides that, that's just a trip me out of and then how I also figure like I test that neighbor. I don't want to say neighbor, but it is what it is, you know. Like she gonna see this. I'm doubtful of it, but I'm testing them, and because I want to see. I think she might have called the people, you know, but maybe not. But she sure be worried about it, always in the Kool-Aid and stuff. That's how I say, how you gonna not say something, you know, that's the one. If you're picking up on my patterns, I try to not indicate who it is or where they at or whatever. I don't want to be gossiping, you know, which I man, it's a story. It's a story about something, and that's gossip. Well, I'm gossiping. I think gossip is specifically talking to people that know this person, or whatever. I'm not saying it for nothing. I'm saying it for a lesson. And you know I can't confront this person. See, this is what I'm saying. These people, they want to control you. That's a way of being you're bossy and controlling, and you're coming across as if you just want to be courteous and kind. You see, I already know that personality type, and you ain't gonna fool, you know, you're not gonna fool me with that. So I ain't responding. I ain't telling this person anything. See, I guess I'm stretching this story out, man, in a way. If it's still here. So I ain't tell a person nothing. You know, I'm not delivering no message to nobody, and I hope you leave them the fuck alone too. I'm not gonna respond and say I ain't delivering no message to nobody, and I hope you leave them the fuck alone too. You know what I mean? But I'm peeping game. I should be able to, as long as my shit ain't interfering with you and that ain't interfering with you, you ain't confused. Go on about your fucking business. You barely even leave your fucking house, you know? You know what I mean? You barely even go anywhere, so it ain't no bother to you. One way or the other. You're not, you know, some people just want to control you in any way that they can, in all kind of little ways and things, and saying that and getting that to go their way, and then they could, either way it go, they talking about you, you know. They're talking about how I should say something, they should move, they shouldn't be parked that way. They probably going on and on and on with motherfuckers. Anybody that would entertain it, because they try to come to me about somebody else, you know, and think I'm gonna entertain that shit. I got to go. No. That's gossip. No, we're not doing that. Because I know you talking to me, talking to them about me. If you're talking to me about them, you don't even know me like that. So there's no question. That's just who you are. Why I want to know that? Why I want to talk about that? Nah, tell them, tell me, and see what happens, Mind your fucking business. You can't control all situations. Gonna let the motherfuckers try to play me like that. That's why I say you're just fake concern. Some concern is real and some concern is fake. They wanna, they can't even help it because that's who they are. Even like I'm saying, in that situation where they riding on the bikes and shit, they can't help but to ooze that out of them because that's who they are. And when another situation come up, they just gonna, like there's no control in that really, but that's who they are. They got to dip in, They got to dip in. They got to interfere. They got to see what's going on. They got to say something. It's been that shit been killing her. Like I said, an old girl, like I'm sort of laughing, like in a way, like damn, I know she knows she's supposed to go the other way. The other lady, other person is parking the right way, and she's steady, just easing. I think she's an inexperienced. She's an inexperienced driver, and it's better for her. She's used to living in apartments, maybe hotels and shit where you go in the spots. And I think that right side is hard for her on judgment. So she got to park where she could see and perceive it in that way. I think that's what's going on. So, and maybe with a lot of people, why else would you do it? That's my thinking. And you figure on this street, ain't nobody gonna be writing no tickets. And I say it's definitely possible because they did it to me. They gave me a warning ticket though. It's definitely possible, but highly unlikely because of the factors I'm saying. Now, if that bitch was a Mercedes or some shit like that, and you know what I mean? On my spot, parked the wrong way, yeah, there they go. They would have targeted her like they target me. That's different. But it's a nice car now, don't get me wrong. But there's a certain, it is what it is. You know that. I'm not going to say I'm surprised I'm not getting messed with more. Like, you get older, they mess with you less. And then, I don't think I necessarily look all that old, any close or fucking far away, probably for sure not, Now, you can't just automatically tell how old a person is at a glance like that, I don't think, but you can see that person riding by themselves. They mess with people. Shit, two people is two people. If you always one person, and pretty much I always am, and then, if it was another person, it probably would be my son or something like that, but, and anyhow, it's always me the majority of the time. Well, shit, in this car, it's always me. And if it was me, if it was 4 and 5, you got 5 people in that car, oh, you're getting pulled over. At some point, maybe on even on a road trip, man, the motherfuckers don't like, man, I had when the Ford Taurus was new, they act like that bitch was a Benz. Tell you the truth. Like, this a rental. I wanted to get the dogs out for me and everything, man. But they ain't want to get the dogs out. They got the dogs out. They got the dogs out for me. Well, I watched the tape called Flex Your Rights or Know Your Rights, or both. It might be under both titles. And man, I used to make copies of that CD that most likely people just threw that shit in the trash, didn't never watch it. But it told you about, I'm pretty sure it's Flex Your Rights. And they have a channel on YouTube. And they're giving away free fucking legal advice, man. They're telling you what to say when you get stopped. The police is not your friend. Whatever they say, they already, if they don't tell you, which is kind of fucked up the way they read you your rights, they should read you that shit when you're not under arrest. you know. That's my rights regardless. It's not my rights because I'm under arrest, but that's how they play the game. See, that's how the game is fucked up. You're supposed to already know your rights. By the time they reading to you, it's too late. You done already said and did the wrong thing. Do you mind if I search? You don't mind if I search your vehicle? Oh, no, I don't mind, sir. It's too late. Then when you find the dope or whatever, and then they gonna read you your rights and tell you had the right to remain silent. Bitch, you had the right to remain silent the minute he opened his mouth, huh? That's the game's fucked up. They playing us. You got to know them motherfuckers ahead of time. Like for real. And just knowing it, we all know it. We done watched enough cop shows and movies. We all know the rights. We all know the Miranda rights. But we're not thinking about what it means, and we don't know what that really means. That we it don't say in there that you don't have a right. You have a right to not consent to a search. They don't read you the details. You have a right to refuse any and all searches. I do not consent to a search. I do not consent to any searches. You don't mind if I check your vehicle, right? You don't mind if I pat you down, right? I don't consent to any search. Could say it however you want to say it. Like I twisted around and made it all nice. I'm sorry. Look, man, I don't want any trouble. Sir, officer. However, I do not consent to any search. Oh, okay. Oh, all right, Mr. Lawyer, you know what I mean? He's just like, oh, okay. They know you know something. They don't know how much you know. You might know that shit up, down, backwards, and forwards. Once you start knowing anything, they get scared because they know what the percentage is that don't know that shit. They're going to be like, okay, what's the percent? I bet it's high in the 90s, boy. 98, you know. Then even knowing the pressure of the situation, you might bitch out, punk out, whatever out. I don't even know what to call it nowadays. You know, you might not be strong enough to do the thing that within your right to do. It ain't as easy. It's easy to say. It ain't easy to do. Cause they saying they ain't really like asking. They ain't, you know, like just the fact that they police alone, if they was asking, you might want to answer, you might want to say yeah. But they posing it as a statement like you will be hiding something, you know, or putting it like as if you must have, if you refuse this, you must have something to hide. You know what I mean? You don't mind, huh? You don't have anything in here, you know. Like playing you. And then playing with your mind, playing with your emotions, playing the fact that you don't know no better. Especially if you know, young. They be banking on this shit. The chances are, you know, and a lot of things they don't know. It's harder to be a barber than to be a policeman, man. It takes more hours to be a barber than to be a policeman. It's facts. Yeah, and I am working on my courses and my webinar and all that stuff. In a way, I mean, it's a lot to the process, you know. It's easy to say that stuff. I suppose I see why more people don't do it. It's man, you got to put effort into things, you know, to get things done. Things just don't magically happen. It takes effort, it takes preparation, organization, a lot. I ain't gonna lie. And But I am so close. I'm just gonna start reeling out a page at a time, a sheet at a time, a giveaway at a time. I'll make a short webinar and start stretching it out. I gotta start. And you know, excuse making ain't gonna do it. That is not gonna do it. Look at these. Why you have a dog that just bark at everybody? Ever since I've been alive, people have dogs that bark at everybody that pass on the street. That seems counterproductive. When I approach your property or your yard, or it should be more of a threat level than just me walking up the street. Just walking, not even stopping, walking at a pace with no stopping, no turning, no nothing. Just at a steady pace that you can hear and you know that that person is going on about their business. But they got these dogs, man. It just be, it's sad. It's sad. And the dog is so, but that go to show you, you think like they just happy all day, waiting. They bark, they doing anything in the world to entertain themselves. They chasing their tail, all kind of shit. You wonder why they're so fucking happy to see you when you get home. Fuck, bitch, you gonna leave me in this bitch by myself all day long, like a dog? You treating me like a dog, man. What the fuck? Yeah, but not even thinking, that shit is whack. Unless he's trained. I mean, and then I don't care how well he's trained, man. I mean, well, I can't say that. Some do better than others. He's trained. He gonna know what to do, but you gonna be at least that's what's gonna keep him occupied and entertained, the training. You have to reinforce that training. That's gonna be a thing, right? An ongoing thing. He's trained. And now he understands his job, and he's gonna do his job because now he's trained. And he trained himself just to bark at anything that passes up the street. He gonna do something. That's the thing. So it's not a lot of neglect. Like forever. It's traditions of neglect. Hey, people got some bad damn habits, huh? Now on this one, like they still barking. He in the backyard barking at me in the front. Wow, what a nice house. Very nice. Well, that's part of my adventures. There's always more. I'm gonna do a little more recording. So I got to get me a videographer. I think that is what you call them, right? Somebody to follow me around with a camera, but ain't allowed to follow me around. Follow me around, water in the front yard, water in the backyard, shit, cutting the grass. Yeah, it's something. I mean, don't get me wrong. It is something. Hey, good morning. Yeah, they got the gas leak. Somebody got something going on around here. I walk around here kind of often. I never smell no gas. And I'm smelling gas. And matter of fact, to the point where it's burning my throat. I think it's easing off. So it's back there in a little patch, little section, man. Fucking block might blow up like they do sometimes, My shit's all electric, which is good and bad. With this old ass infrastructure, I'm gonna say it's good, but my neighbors have gas, I see. So it's close. And they have gas pipes right next to my house, so they probably used to have gas and they just went all electric. Cause when I was doing the digging for my little thing to fix my drain back when, that well, you call the dig people, you know, and they put the flags down, and some of them said gas, electric. They got all kind of shit under the ground, kind of different power lines and things, man. And of course, it's just funny how some people can get away with so much more than other people. They fuck with me. Now they got send me a picture of my tire a little bit parked on the grass. As a warning, here we go, them warnings, right? But these motherfuckers have all trash and fucking cars they fixing on, jacked up, all kind of ways, on blocks and shit. Like, it's hard to believe that them warnings and shit, because it be like that all the time. It's hard to believe that them warnings haven't turned into actual violations, and them violations ain't turned into some real fucking problems. But maybe they are, maybe they have, and maybe they will. Things is all things you don't see. You know, it's hard to say. I'm sure there is some, there's some favoritism. They're gonna let shit slide more than they're gonna let it slide with you, but they're still on it so far. I believe they're gonna let it go. That shit, it stank around there. It's trashy. It looked like, you know, man, that's the hood. And then there's two people next door to each other with their hood shit. You know, so they must, it's a law of attraction, or they know, you know, attraction, because they must know each other. A lot of times it be like that. Like I say, they be looking like, to me, that motherfucker, speaking of my neighbor, like that motherfucker can't wait till I just be hoping and praying that I would be moving so they could tell their friend, you know, get some, you know how they used to have that shit, man. Don't you sell to no niggas. Whatever you do, they put it in the contract. It's in contract right now. And I know this was one of them love it towns right here, man. I'm sure it was that they had that in that way where, you know, they wasn't supposed to be doing that. Yeah, speaking to my neighbor, trying to speak to her. Yeah, so I'm about to bounce over. Yeah, there's the notorious car right there at the end of the video, and I'm out.